Well, here we are again for another installment of Tim and Wendy's Appalachian Trail Adventures. On today's episode, we are hiking southbound from Dennis Cove Road, 4 miles approximately, to another road to complete a 4-mile section that we haven't done. So last year we were hiking, we actually drove in on that road and went southbound down to Moreland Gap Shelter. One day we were out here trying to meet Steve Big Bird. So we picked the hard way because, well, we're going down and back, so I guess one way's harder than the other because you're doing both of it. But well, if we would have drove in on that road and went northbound to Dennis Cove, it would have been a much easier hike because it's about 90% uphill going southbound. And it's not terrible, but it's 90 degrees today. And that first mile out of Dennis Cove is coming up a holler. There's absolutely no air in there. We were about 8/10 in, and I couldn't lift my legs hardly. I was drained. Felt like I'd been hiking till windy. I felt like I was on the 10th mile of a 10-mile hike. So we stopped for a second and sat down and had a snack and some water, and we both felt a little better. But till we got out of that holler, it was bad. We were struggling. Both of us were soaking wet. We had no air. We both drunk a liter of water. So anyways, we're about 3 miles in at this point. Past Coon Falls side trail. It's 8/10 down a steep hill to the falls. Not for this old guy. Ain't doing that crap today. So we passed probably 12 northbounders. And I tell you what, you can spot the ones that are through hikers because they are ripe today. Anyways, this is part of the section that burned on Rome Mountain last year too. So I've got some history lessons, some interesting information. I'm gonna come back later. Nope.
No, go on ahead.
We're going to interview. Would you like to do the interview today?
What do you want to interview me about?
You got anything good to tell me about?
I do have something. You know, we always talk about the twisted trees, right?
Yeah.
And I know that you think that the twisted trees are a big bunch of farce. I want to let you know that they did use them to mark
Who?
the Cherokee,
Oh, okay.
the Sioux,
Sue?
Navajo.
My grandmother?
the
A boy named Sue?
no, not a boy named Sue. So they use them in certain structures, certain curves, or out branches of the tree. Not necessarily this tree, because this is just a tree that grows this way.
Oh.
But this would mean that was way. That could be food. Food's that way. Or it would mean hostile territory that way.
Oh.
Or it would mean water that way. So, say what you want. It's true. They did use many kind of vines to, there's a tree there, many kind of vines to twist the trees, rear out the trees as permanent tree markers.
Huh. What was their favorite kind of vine to use?
Albino vine.
Oh.
So, whenever you see a tree like that, you're supposed to take a picture of it and document where it is, and then send it to someplace in Texas.
Just like mail it? Or have they got a website?
They probably have a website. I'll have to come back to you for that.
Okay, good.
So, put that in your pipe and smoke it, which, like the Indians did,
No smoke pipes?
all the time.
Sweet. Like Robbie? Oh no, that's
They didn't smoke sissy pipes.
grape cigars, not pipes.
Hey, how's it going? Good, how are you? We are terrific. Yes, you do.
Thank you. Alright, so we'll get more on this Indian story in a little while. Gotta get some water and Wendy and some nourishment. I think she might be delirious. Alright, so we are heading back northbound now, and we're probably halfway back to Dennis Cove Road. So coming back has been so much better than on the way down. Wind's blowing a little bit, it's a nice breeze, it's nice and cool. So a couple things I wanted to show you. This is for Chip. I made this. My little bottle holder, 2 straps, little keeper there, holds it nicely, just the bottom just wraps right around it. So makes it easier to get water since I've not been using my bladder. Makes it easy, and I don't stay dehydrated, because before I always had to stop and get my water out of my pack. So this is much better. So good job. All right, so the history lesson for the day. So I told you before that I went by Coon Den Falls, and just wanted to tell about the legend of Coon Den. If you ever go back in Coon Den Falls, you better not go at night, because there's things out there in the middle of them woods make a strong man cry with fright. There's things that crawl, things that bite, things that creep around on the ground. And they say the ghost of Bob Peoples gets up and he walks around. So, anyways, I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. I couldn't conceive it, because I never would listen to nobody else. You know, there's just some things in this world you can't explain. But old Bob Peoples, he was a greedy old man. He never did do a lot of harm in the world, but he never did do no good. He Legend has it he lived down in Coon Falls there. On the, he'd take all of his money and stuff it in mason jars, and he buried it all around. And on the nights when the moon was bright, he'd dig it all up and pour it out on the floor of his old shack. So these two boys, the Greening brothers, lived up in the Pump Log Hollow. Got an idea. Said they was gonna go out there and take old Bob's money, feed him to the coons. So one night they met out there behind the shack, and old Bob came out, and they grabbed him and they threw him to the coons in the coon den, grabbed the money, took off running. Before they knew it, they was in running in quicksand. And they say, even to this day, if you go down there to the Coon Den Falls, on certain nights when the moon's bright, that you can hear two old boys screaming, and you're hearing one old man laughing. So, anyways, that's a legend of Bob Peoples, Coon Den Falls. So that's what the trail is like. There are a lot of the ways down through here. Rock scrambles, steep. And there's no air because of all these rhododendron. So this is the section where coming in, I thought we were going to have to call for a medevac to get me out of here because I was falling out of the seat. So it's not my favorite one, but it's okay. I'm glad we did it. And we filled in that section. Hiked 8 miles to fill in a 4-mile section. That's okay, I guess. Look at this. It's crazy. I think they could put an elevator or something right here that would make it a whole lot easier. Easy as that. That's probably going to be falling in soon. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And maybe this is the lack of a Snickers talking, but I don't think so. This section sucks. It's rocky, it's rooty, it's in a holler, or a gap, not a gap, a holler. It's just a straight up East Tennessee holler. There's no airflow. It's rocky, did I mention? It's rooty. There's bugs. It's hot. So, I'm sorry, but not a favorite section. Would not recommend for a day hike. So we're about 2/10 from the road. And the trail's trying to redeem itself. But my feet have good memory. And they remember that rocky and rooty section. So I'm not forgiving it yet. Still not recommending it. As you can see, we are coming up on the road here where we are parked at Dennis Cove. So that's going to wrap it up for the day. Remember to join us next time on T&W's ATA, where we will tackle another section of the AT and discuss lore, legend, and history.